basic drawing here, but this is just how I visualize it always in my head, is that in a supply chain, raw materials into a part manufacturer, usually through distributors, certainly in my world, usually through distributors, and then into the users of those parts. And it's about parts moving through. And the test bed that's been mentioned today, and that you're all going to get to see, essentially is how do we digitize it? So how do we take a copper welding tip and track it all the way back to the copper mine through every single point of touch points, and so that at any point in time you can know where it is, because that again creates absolute control. That's what this is about. And there's a real challenges to doing that, and the team here at the university have done some amazing work on starting to get that right. And then ultimately, it's about seeing how those parts move. It's then also, as I said before, in terms of not necessarily just Scope 3 emissions, it's also about then starting to use parts differently or reuse parts. And again, it's knowing that I've got parts on site that I could reutilize for something else, or I could reuse them again. And in a situation we had with Unipresses using Kevlar gloves, well, why not wash them? Well, okay, we can do that. And now our technology forces wash gloves to be used first ahead of new gloves, which creates a cash benefit, but also improves the environment again, because we're not bringing through so much product. So all of this, it's all about digitisation. To have that happen effectively, you have to digitise it. It's very difficult to do it without digitisation. And then, once you've connected those parts and you know where those parts are, they're flowing through, ultimately what you can do, and something that we're looking at, and some of the work that we're doing at NBT, and that the university are starting to help my thinking on within this centre, is essentially being able to share stock. So actually, if I've got obsolescence sitting on a site here, and traditionally, traditionally, you know, if I have a site here and I've got obsolescence, and I have another site and they're using that part and they run out of a part, traditionally they'll just wait for that part to arrive. They'll go and order it and wait for it to arrive. Well, why don't you just take it from the other site with obsolescence? Well, you've got to know it's there. And the way that happens today is people will go, I'll get on the phone, I'll ring up site B and I'll ask them whether they've got a spare part. And that never works, because people don't actually make that call, or they wait, or they say, yes, we've got some, they go, and it's not there. What this is about if we can connect it all together, then what actually we can create is horizontal supply chains as well as vertical supply chains, which means that we can start to make the product flow more easily and better. And it's getting into that thinking. That's where we want to take it, and that's part of what I'm hoping the centre is going to provide and support in terms of it. Or indeed, you could have a consortium of companies who are all working on it. They could aggregate their stock buying, they could aggregate their stock, and again, hold it all potentially in one place and use it more efficiently. But however they do it, it's the fact that they've got control to make the decisions that they need to make. And so essentially, Testbed is building a product flow for the vertical supply chains and creating that control and the ability to make decisions on it. But then by doing that, you can also potentially do it that way and bring all the other benefits that maybe come from that.